Assalamu alaikum Bliifians, I'm Asma and you're watching Bliifee, the place to be for Muslim life hacks to follow our deen more easily. And in this video we will look at how to stay awake after praying FAJR while also feeling fresh, inshallah. So let's get right into it. Step number 1. The first step to staying awake after praying FAJR is the most important one, and that is to know your why. Why do you want to stay awake after praying FAJR Salah? I'm going to ask you now to comment down below your answer to this question. Why do you want to stay up awake after praying your FAJR Salah? Is it because you want to be more productive? Or is it because the Prophet ﷺ asked Allah to bless the mornings of his ummah? No matter what your reason is, if you haven't already, I would like you to comment down below your answer to this question so that it is motivating you, is impactful for you, as well as for others who are reading the comments, inshallah. Step number 2 is to force a schedule for your body. The way to do this is to do everything you can to stay awake after praying FAJR. If you really want to create this habit of staying awake after praying FAJR Salah, you have to dedicate one day, just one day. You need to put yourself through the challenge of staying awake after praying FAJR Salah, no matter how sleepy you are. So for example, even if you slept very late at night and you got 3 to 5 hours of sleep, then you wake up, pray FAJR Salah, and even if you're sleepy, you do everything you can to stay awake till night, and then that way you can sleep early in the night right after praying Isha Salah, inshallah. That way, because you slept early in the night after praying your Isha Salah, you are able to wake up after FAJR and stay awake while also feeling fresh because you had a good night's rest by sleeping early in the night. This creates a cycle of sleeping early, waking up early, and then sleeping early, waking up early, and so on. However, if you're unable to stay awake all the way until night, you could take a small, short nap in the afternoon, which is also rewarding because it is from the sunnah of our Prophet ﷺ. But make sure that this nap is short and sweet, because if it extends to hours and hours, then this technique will not work. So you have to make sure you are awake after FAJR prayer, and then you stay up awake all the way until Isha, you pray Isha Salah, and then you go to sleep. And if you like, you could have a short nap in the afternoon. Now, because this is a very intense step, this leads me on to the next step, which is to make sure that you're scheduling this in for a holiday, a day off, or on the weekend. Obviously, this new schedule will cause your body to crash and will have similar effects to jet lag. So if you do not want this to have an impact on your work or school, then you have to make sure that you're trying this out on a day when you don't have to use your brain power as much. Because less sleep creates lesser ability to use our minds, and we don't want to do that on a day when you have to put your mind to work at school or at your workplace. Now, do you see how sleeping early in the weekend or on a holiday can positively impact the rest of your week? Now, I'd like you to think the other way around. Just how sleeping early in the night on a day off can make it easier for you to wake up and stay awake after praying FAJR on a weekday. Similarly, having late nights and sleeping late in the night on weekdays or days off can negatively impact your week. That's why it is very important that we do not skip out on sleeping early and waking up early and staying awake after FAJR, even on days off, on holidays or weekends, so that our body clock is not disturbed. So for this step, grab your calendar, look for a day that you know for sure that you will be okay if you haven't slept much in the day, and block that day out so that you know that is the day you're going to be staying up awake after FAJR and you're not going to sleep. There's a high chance of entering zombie mode on that day, so please make sure that you do not schedule any other important tasks that require too much of brain power on that day. So from that day, you will try your best to stay up awake after praying your FAJR Salah as much as possible every day, and you will try your best to continue that habit into every single day. So even better if you do it on a weekend where you have 2 days off, or on a holiday where you have more than 1 day off. Step number 4 to help you stay up awake after praying your FAJR Salah is to schedule in tasks right after your FAJR time. Having commitments after FAJR time will help you in staying awake because you have a responsibility that you need to fulfill or be at. For example, you could schedule in classes or sports after FAJR, or for example, you could commit to making breakfast for your family right after praying your FAJR Salah, etc. You could make it more challenging. For example, if your Fajr time starts at 6 a.m. and you really want to get into this routine of staying awake after praying Fajr, and you know that personal commitments are not going to help you stay awake after Fajr because it's easy to slack off, then you could make it more challenging by involving other people. So, for example, if your Fajr time begins at 6 a.m., you could inform your boss that from now onwards you'd like to come into work at 8 a.m. So that leaves you with 2 hours from the start of Fajr time to pray Fajr, to get dressed, to have your breakfast, and to travel for work. That way, you don't have the option or the time to sleep after praying Fajr Salah, even if you wanted to, because you have to be at work at 8 a.m. There is another way of doing this step if you don't want to have personal commitments or challenges, and that is by putting in a reward system. The easiest way to put in a reward system is to start praying Salat al-Duha after sunrise. The Prophet ﷺ has said, whoever prays Fajr in congregation, then sits remembering Allah until the sun has risen, then he prays 2 rak'ah, then for him is the reward like that of Hajj and Umrah. Complete, complete, complete. So in simple words, you pray your 2 rak'ah of Fajr in Jama'ah, in the masjid, and then you sit doing adhkar, dhikr, remembering Allah, and then once the sun has risen, a few minutes after that, you stand up and you pray 2 rak'ah of Salat al-Duha. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the reward of this is complete Hajj and Umrah. Scholars have also agreed that for women who choose to pray their Fajr Salah at home, the reward is still the same if they do dhikr until sunrise and then pray Salat al-Duha after that. So adding Salat al-Duha to your morning routine can make it easier for you to stay up awake after praying your Fajr Salah because you are motivated with the rewards of practicing a sunnah of our Prophet ﷺ. Step number 5 is knowing yourself, knowing what works for you and what helps you stay awake in general. So for example, for some of us, it's coffee. For some of us, it's taking a shower. Now this might be different for each and every person, but something that is supported by science is exposing yourself to sunlight, even if it is a little sunlight on a cloudy day. Apparently, the exposure to sunlight in the morning helps stop the production of hormones like melatonin that help you sleep and starts the production of hormones like serotonin which help you stay awake and fresh. Then, as the day goes by, our body converts that serotonin into melatonin which then helps you sleep early in the night. Subhanallah, it is all connected and once again puts you in the cycle of sleeping early in the night and waking up in the day and feeling fresh after exposing yourself to sunlight. Let me know in the comments down below what tips and tricks you use to stay awake and to feel fresh. And inshallah, if someone benefits from your comment, then you will have a share in the rewards too. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, live your beliefs and stay tuned to Bliifee. And in this video, we will look at how to stay awake after praying.
So my dream for Jannah grows day by day, and I pray to Allah to guide me all the way till I make it to His paradise.